one sec. I'll tell you which
I have
page.
that. I have Schirus Batim.
Yeah, 1 second. Just putting the YouTube on. I guess the people who want to. Okay, so I'm going to share it now, or you can do it inside, whichever is easier for you. Um, okay, we are on page 10 in the booklet.
We didn't do Shinud base?
We did on Thursday. We did Chinud base.
Wow, you did the whole Shinud base, you did.
Yeah, we did it in the Sikomim, and we ran through in the.
Wow.
So now we're holding page 10 in the Sikomim.
You did Shinud Gimel also, I guess, right?
Shinud Gimel, it skips. It goes from Shinud
It
base
skips,
to Shinud
okay,
Dalet.
fine.
Yeah. Okay, you'll Rav Chazan, you'll do the honors, the Chazan edition.
Okay.
Okay, you'll read Rav Chazan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Schirus Batim, Choshe Mishpat, Simonim, Shinud base, Shinud Dalet.
Right. So go forward to we're by page 10. Second
Page
the
10.
second paragraph. The Kunim Veitzai Shoinus.
Page 10. This is the beginning of Shinud Dalet, right?
Yeah. So we'll do Shinu Dalid
Okay,
here, and then we're going to go to inside.
Beschirus Lisman Kotsuv. There?
No, you're on page 10.
9, no, 9, sorry.
Yeah, one more. Tikkunim veitzai shoynis.
Okay. Tikkunim v'tzol shoynus al mim mutolim. Simen Shinu Daled. Choyves hamaski lehamid lesoicher bais haroi lemugorim. B'mishne mesechte bo metzi hamaskir bais lechaveiroi hamaskir chayv berdeles beneger. Beneger is like a bolt, right?
Yeah, both of them. Yeah. One, yeah. So the nagod is how you lock it back then. Now we have double-sided. Back then, when you were inside, you used like a bar or a bolt. You bolted it closed from the inside.
From the inside.
But to lock it from the outside, you used the lock was it was probably more like what's a padlock today. You know, you use something more like this when you lock it from the outside. So that's the manual. So one is the inside lock, and one is out. In today that would be the same thing. The nagar and the manual it's one piece.
Okay, uvechol dover shemaise umen, aval dover shene maise umen hasoicheroisehu.
Yeah.
Something that the person could do himself, they didn't do himself, but something that requires some sort of expertise.
Right.
So then,
now let's just remember also we're talking about by the Mishnah. So in the times of the Mishnah, there were certain things that a person, nowadays is first of all bichlal it's a little bit different because it goes by the contract anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the question is going to be what if it comes with something that's not in the contract.
And there's certain things
like nowadays to change a light bulb, the guy doesn't have to send somebody to change your light bulb.
Right.
That's also back then they probably did more than what we did on not uman because it's going to discuss certain things like certain kinds of plastering and things. Nowadays nobody does this themselves. Back then there were certain kinds of plastering and this and that people would do themselves, and certain other things that you had to call for a what do you call it, a carpenter or this or that, because it wasn't the type of thing that a regular person knew how to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think also there's certain things which are ungenommen nowadays, no acceptable things, like for example.
And even that depends place to place. For example, if you're if you're in Florida, there's condos, right? And the condos is and I think they even get a tax break. It's only a certain age and up, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then they're not expecting a person at 90 years old to go up the ladder and change a light bulb. So if the guy needs a light bulb, even he calls down to it's part of the setup. in a normal rental. You change the light bulbs yourself is mekubal. But there's
Yeah.
other things that maybe back then a tenant would do it himself that nowadays is not mekubal anymore. A tenant does himself. The guy sends a handyman. If there's a crack in the wall, some things. Maybe back then the guy plasters it himself. Nowadays, we wouldn't.
Right,
So
right.
it really depends.
לפי
Ultimately, it
המוקם
depends. Yeah,
והזמן. לפי
exactly.
המוקם והזמן, I
Punkt.
think, no?
Yeah, yeah. Punkt.
Okay, weiter. ובגמור תון רבונון, המזכיר בייס לחברו, מזכיר חייב להעמיד לו דלסויס, לפתוח לו חלוינויס, לחזק לו תקרו, לסמוך לו קוירו, וסויכר חייב לעשוס לו סולם, לעשוס לו מייקה, לעשוס לו מרזב, ולהתיח את גגוי. Marzev would be termed as piping.
Like a gutter, yeah, gutters, I think.
Gutters.
Yeah.
Bichlal, a marzev is a pipe.
Right.
So anything which has to do with the house, Al Pizza Kosa Harambam, Be'ashulchan Aruch. Hamaskin Baisa Chaveru Chayv lehamid loy dalsois, lehaskin dalsois bepsochim, beliftoich loy hachaloines sheniskalkalu, chalolim shenasu bekirois, umeshamshim shem kechaloinois, ועשויים להסתם עם הזמן.
Yeah, so it's not like today, you have a window, you have a window.
Lehastem im hazman means that it is compatible with the time, no?
No, it means it would close up. It would, meaning back then it wasn't like now where necessarily I guess the buildings then were different, where you had a window. Let's say it was made out of some kind of mud or something like this, or I'm not sure exactly. Because in a stone house, I can't see it closing up, but they would have back then where they would have openings, and I guess over time they would close up, so he would have to reopen them.
I see.
Yeah.
ועשום להיסוסם עם הזמן.
Yeah,
that
that's the way they're made.
They are prone
they
to be to close with time.
Yeah, that's how they're made. They're made in such a way that they close over time.
Yeah,
So he has to, for the tenant, he has to keep. It affects the lighting and remember back then. Nowadays, it's like windows for lighting.
Yes,
but back then it was also for airflow and it was a very important thing, the amount of windows and.
But why did they build it in a way that it would close up with time? That's.
I don't think it was what they were doing purposely. I think that the nature of how houses were built in certain areas.
That's the way
they're made out of like almost like something like slightly like a concrete, but maybe it's more like a limestone.
Yeah.
Something, Yoda, you're saying something. You're muted. No, okay. So you would so it would, meaning in Yerushalayim you have a house that are stone, it wouldn't close up, but maybe maybe in Bavel or in other places or something, the way they or maybe where the Rambam and Shulchan Aruch, or in Egypt or whatever, maybe they built it out of like almost like a like a concrete, but it was like a hard mud or something like this, or limestone or something, and over time it would the window hole would collapse on itself or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so that he has to. This is something that's the achrayus is on the balabos.
Yeah.
So and to strengthen the roof.
Yeah.
And to I guess to lean a support beam, right, which broke.
Yeah, that's how the way even now, when you put in, if you're putting in, let's say for example you're going to move support, you need to repair some support beams or something, or you're putting a new one. What you'll do is then you'll put the new one and you lean it right, and then you knock the bottom in until it's straight. So I think that's why it's called leaning in the beam, because you lean it against it, how much it'll go, and then you knock it in to make it straight, to tighten it.
Right. Okay, so לידוג לתמיכה בקודש שבגגה במקרה שנשברו ויש חשש שתסמויטת, that it will move, right?
Yeah, it's gonna fall in. It's gonna
fall in, right. ולעשוס נגור בריח, היינו מויט שמניח לרויחב הדלס מקוצר לקוצר ומשם של נעילס הבייס מבפנים. This is a kind of like
like
a
the big,
crossbar, no?
yeah, like the big beam, like they have on the door. There's two things like this, and then you put the beam in, so nobody people can't open the door.
Is that placed like behind the door, like on the width of the door, or what?
It's
It's
so it
like
depends.
is
There's different ways it's made. Sometimes it could be the wall is thicker than the door, right?
yeah,
Okay, and let's say the door only opens inside, so it could be holes in the wall,
yeah.
and then you put it and it blocks the door.
Right, right.
In
But it's a way of securing
right
that nobody could come in.
in later construction, like let's say like in the U.S. during the 1700s and colonial times and maybe 1800s,
Yes,
it was more common, and rather than being dug in the door, it's a metal. There's a metal brackets that go on the door, and there's metal brackets on the wall, so you're fixing it in like these you know iron brackets. But either way, same idea. I think back
okay,
then
good.
it was actually it would go into the wall itself.
But this is a way that not that to lock yourself, nobody should be able to come in, right?
You come in, yeah, but you lock it like this when you're inside.
When you're inside, that nobody should be able to just barge in and into your
Right,
house. Okay, so that's that. Then בכן אם ניתוח המזיבה והתקרו בארבעות טפוחים
right.
חייב לסכנו.
Then you also have the manul. The manul is a mishamish linis al bais b'chutz.
A minute. Sorry, umano, שם זה נראה הבית בחוץ. When you leave the house, you lock up.
Right, like it's like a padlock or something like this.
Right. וכן אם נפתחה המזיבה, if the plaster opened up, right?
Yeah,
והתקרה and the roof, בארבעת טפוחים חייב לסכנו. If it's, I guess it's 4 by 4, right? 4 טפוחים by 4 טפוחים. If it,
yeah, yeah, because that's the
that's a
makim
bit
of a keli.
verstanden.
And I think it's
The Lashon Rambam, by the way.
a note 25 is worthwhile.
לושן הרמב"ם בדין תקרא מזיבה שנפתחו שוינים בלושן שולחן אורך. זה לושן הרמב"ם. המזכיר עלייה לחברוי ונפתחו בארבע או יויסר שנפתחו העלייה הסקלקלו בשטח של ארבע טפוחים חייב לסכן התקרא הקוירש שהתקרא בנויה מהם שם שזכריס ולעלייה. והמזיבה כיסוי העתיד של הקוירס, שמזיבה חיזוק התקרה. אוקיי, מבואר אם כן
Right,
ברמב"ם, הוא
you have
במקרה
before when
של
you said the
סחירוס
beams.
עלייה. I understand the way the Rambam learns Pshat is
Right,
that
he's not talking about if you live downstairs and your ceiling opens up. He's talking dafke when the ceiling which is your floor.
right, it's talking about right, שעל גבי הבית, כוסף הסמה, שכך יש לפרש גם בשולחן אורך. ולפי זה מובן מדוע שיר הפסיכה שלך והמזכיר אותו הוא ארבע טפוחים. שכאשר נפתחו ארבע טפוחים, חוסר לבעל עלייה, מוקם תשמש של כלי אחד, וזה נחשב גם בסיסי שהמזכיר מחויב לסכנו. It's a very basic necessity. That's why the shir, it justifies why it says
Right,
ארבע
because I
טפוחים.
mean, look, nowadays, of course, again, it would be different. Nowadays, if you're a tenant and your ceiling opened up 4 by 4, so zicher, the guy has to fix it because nowadays that's mikubel. But back then, okay, so you had the you had 4 by 4 tvachim open and some in the ceiling. Now, what's the big deal? It wasn't, in their places, it wasn't such a big deal like that. After all, your window is just a hole in the wall anyway. So what's the big deal? Open 4 by 4. If you're on the second floor, you're missing 4 by 4 of floor. Now you can't be mishamish in that area. You can't put nothing there.
Yeah.
So you're missing the malkum for a keli. So yeah.
וכן כל כיוצא בזה מדברים שהם מסה אומן והם עיקר גודל. There's two criteria over here. It has to be Maise Uman and it also be Iker Godel, Dover Basisi.
Right. Because let's say, for example, there's like the designs on mantelpieces. You ever see fancy plaster design? Okay, that's a Maise Uman.
Yeah.
Fine, but it's not a davar basisi. It's
Right.
not. It's not affecting how you can live in the place.
Yeah.
It's
So
just. It's
if
just
you want, that's considered like a fancy, like a little luxury thing. So you get it
right.
yourself.
It's for looks. It's just for looks, but it doesn't
You
affect you
can't
in a way
force a
that's
balabos to pay for that. That's a pshat.
right. Right.
So then he says, "Vehem iker godel dov basisi beyeshivas habatim ve'achatzeres, ובכלל זה תיקונים הנדרושים בחוצר או בחדר המדרגה של בייס משותף שמותר לנו להשכיר." Demos is the
Yeah, because if you don't have if your stair even though the stairs are not part of your dita pratis that you're renting, but if the stairs are broken, it affects your use of the property. You can't use it properly. So even though it's not in your dita pratis, it's only in a part that's meshutaf. The landlord still has to take care of it. Why? Because it affects it affects the basic part of your usage of the property, and it's a ma'aseh, so it meets both criteria.
and likewise the chotzer, because he
Yeah,
has to come. I think is he talking about a chotzer that the shoes the shmishoy on the chotzer, or just
he's talking about a chotzer that's
he
listen.
has to pass through.
Yeah, or I mean, and the same thing to the cheder madreges, meaning it's not part of it. It's you didn't rent a single home. He has this landlord has a chotzer with different homes and different madreges, right? And
Yeah.
and you rent one apartment, like let's say an apartment, like an apartment building.
Yeah.
And okay, so he's saying here that not only when it has to meet these two criteria, is it's a ma'aseh uman and it's an ikar gadol. And he's
Yeah.
adding that even if it's an ikar gadol, not in your dira pratis that you rented,
Yeah.
it's in the common areas. But if it's ma'aseh uman and it affects your usage of the property, the landlord has to fix it.
Right. So let me just put this down as a very important thing, because it's like
Yeah, it's a very
it has to be both
important general
things. It
rule.
has to be, this is Maisa Uman v'hem Iker Godel.
Yeah, that's the two criteria, and it
That's
includes
where I remember too.
shared use areas. If they're ikar gadol and it's ma'aseh uman.
Yeah, and plus whether you actually live in it or you don't live in it, but it affects your usage, right? That's what we said.
Right. So it has to affect your basic usage of the property,
Yeah.
and it has to be ma'aseh uman also.
Maisa Uman. Yeah. שתיקס הסויכר אין נחשבת מחילו הרמו, היל שהמסיר חי בכל אלו, אפילו אם הסויכר יודע על הליקויים האלו, כשנכנס לוגר בבייס, ליקוי means, I guess, things which were missing, right?
Yeah, like these issues, these like what do you call it? Deficiencies or
Chisroinus
whatever.
here
Yeah,
means
deficiencies. Yeah, yeah.
deficiencies, right? ואינם שתיקוסוי נחשבת מחילה, אלא יש להניח שמה ששוסק הוא משום שסומך על הנוחה הפשוטו, שאם סיכמו ביניהם על סחירוס בייס למגורים, המסכים יעמיד לו בייס רוי למגורי אודום, וכאשר חוסר אחד מהדברים המפורטים אין זה נקרא בייס. So it's nothing to do with the haskama of the soicher. It
Right.
has to do
It's already
it has to
included
do
in our original agreement.
on he agreed that he was going to give.
Right.
Now
It's
whether he
in our original agreement, we said you're going to rent me an apartment. So he doesn't have to say nothing. Why? Because it's assumed that when you said you're renting me apartment, it means you're renting me apartment that's fit for use. Well, what other kind of apartment would I need?
right.
So it's included, and therefore, even without him saying anything, it doesn't. If he doesn't say anything, it doesn't show any mechila. He's just relying on the fact that this is part of the original arrangement.
אם יש מנהג ידוע, הולכים אחר המנהג. כוסף האורך השולחן. בכל מוקם ומוקם, לפי מנהוגוי, חייב המשכיל לסכן דבורים הקבועים. כמו שבמנסנו לעשות חלוינס כפולים בימי החורף. It's called double windows. How do you call it? Double
Well,
insu
I don't think that he was talking about necessarily double paned windows.
what was Chanos Kfurim? Do you think it was just a window and a shutter?
I think it means like that in the cold places, like in Russia and whatever, besides for the window,
There were shutters.
they would have a wooden shutters that you can close in the winter
Yeah.
to further insulate a little bit.
In Europe, we still have it in Europe. I've seen it.
Right. So this is and
I
why?
lived in a
Because it's
house like
cold there.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the cold, yeah. לסכן במקומות שמדינה זה עשו חנות גבוהים מהחורף, לסכן תנורי, בייס החורף עם כל השחת, like an urn, not an urn,
Like
a
a furnace.
fireplace.
Yeah,
Furnace,
furnace,
right.
whatever, yeah.
Furnace, ולהטיח הכסולים מבחוץ, מבי הסתיו, ולשפוך עופר סומך לכסולים שלא יכנס הכל להבייס. It sounds more kind of insulation, this was.
Yeah,
Not to
so
let the cold
they would
come
have
in.
like I guess when they would plaster in the fall, but before
Right.
the winter
בכל
would start,
כיוצא בזה.
as winter's approaching,
ונעזוב
they
ביתה,
start
yeah?
to so all basically all these things, all the whatever in that particular place is normal.
Yeah. That is מחויב to do.
Yeah. Which means, for example, let's say you rent a condo in Florida. This would include air conditioning. Because
Right,
air
because
conditioning is a regular in Florida. That's a regular thing that has to be working. So when it
yeah,
comes before the summer, you have to make sure the air conditioning is working.
right.
It's on the balabos.
כלומר, אם יש מנהג כתוב באיזה מקום המנהג קובע, כששני אנושים סיכמו ביניהם על זכילוס בסתם, יש להניח שהויסו דייתם על מנהג המקובל. יכול להיות שאפילו they didn't speak about it at all,
Right. Right.
about but since it's a minhag kavod, that's what you have to do.
Right. So unless not only that, and so if the balabos specified, that's one thing. But if you don't specify, then we go by the assumption that you're going by what the norm is.
By the norm, unless how do you say, unless you specify
Yeah, if
otherwise.
if you specify it or you contract it or whatever it is, then it goes by whatever you specify.
Or bestam nicht. Bestam, you have to follow the minhag amekubel.
Right.
So then it says, בזמננו, המנהג המקובל שהמשכיר דואג לכל דובר המעכב מלוdur כדרך דירס רויד בני אדם, כגון דויד חשמלי, right? Water heater.
Yeah.
הסוקה, heat.
Yeah.
Trisim.
It's like blinds or shutters or whatever, blinds, shutters, something like this.
Yeah, shutters. וכן סורגים אם מדובר בקומס קרקע שצורך בוי סורגים למניעת כניסה של גנוב, gates.
Right, like in Pittsburgh, you're not gonna what's it called? You can't demand that the balabos is gonna put on the bars on your windows.
But in Crown Heights,
nobody has them. In Brooklyn, if you're on the first
Brooklyn,
floor,
it's an absolute
you don't
must.
have bars in the window. You're gonna say, hey, what's going on here? There's no bars in the window. It's Brooklyn. You have to have bars in the window.
You have to have bars, yeah.
So in Brooklyn, he can tie it to the balabos to put bars in his window.
So we'll put this as a you call them gates, you call them, no?
Called bars, window bars.
Yeah, window bars.
I mean, it's sometimes they are gates. So it could be a gate also, like a gate also. But I think in general they call them bars.
Window bars. weiter. למניעת כניסה של גנובים, מה שאין כן בקומה גבוה, שיש לנו הרבה דירוס ולא סורגים, לכן הסורגים איננו יכול לתבוע, אז כל הסורגים לא יצגו בפורש מראש. אוקיי, קלקולים שאירו במשך תקופת הסחילוס. jetzt Sachen that happened because wear and tear, as I say.
Right. In the beginning, when you rented it, it
He
was,
got
listen,
it.
I provided you all the stuff that needed, but now something went bad.
Something went right. Okay, with time, it's natural.
Yeah. Well, either yeah, sometimes or something, whether naturally or something broke or whatever.
Yeah. So he says, כוסר המתיקים תיקן המסקיל דברים אלה מפורט משכונו חשוב לעיל ונשברו תוך ימי הסחירוס אם אומר לי בייס זה אין צורך להעמיד לו אחר אומר לו בייס סתם צורך לסכנו כל ימי הסחירוס.
Right. So if he
Like
told him this house here,
we had
I'm
this in the
giving you this
past.
house, and this house is ready to live in. Now something went wrong. It's your problem. I provided you this house. A
Right.
house means I'm providing you a constant. Well, I'm not just providing you this thing and done. I'm continually providing you a house. So now he has to fix the things that
Right. כלומר, לדברי רמות, כשסיכמו ביניהם על הסקורס בייס מסוים, חויבס המזכיר להעמיד בייס הרוי למגורים הוא רק בשעה שהוזכר שהסויכר נזכר לדירה. If you say דירה זו, so
here, this is the house.
the obligation is only as far as Beshas Maisa, the time of the Schirus, to give him a livable place, a good, decent place at the time of the Schirus.
At that time, yeah.
But should anything break or change, it's no longer his what do you call it? It's no longer his achrayus.
Yeah.
But you say by stam, then it's different.
Right, because then bayis stam is like when I rent a hotel room.
Right. Then
if I rent a hotel room, right? And something goes wrong, I tell them, hey, give me another room. I didn't rent this room. I rented a hotel room. So now give me a different room that works. I don't know,
אך מכאן ואילוך, במשך תקופת הסחירוס, כל פגם שאילו אינו באחרייס, המזכיר אלו, אנו אומרים לסויכר שמאז לא יגורם. ומזוג zum סויכר, as dein, wie heißt es, dein Mazel das Geurem geben, yeah?
Yeah. It's your bad luck. This is right.
Huh?
It's your bad luck.
Your bad luck, yeah.
Bad luck, yeah.
So then he says, רק במקרה שהסכימו על בית סתם, מחויב המזכיר לתיקונים בכל תקופת הסחירוס. שהסיכום של בית סתם משמעו שהמזכיר מחויב לדאוג למגוריו של הסויכר בכל התקופה, בלי קשר לבית זה או אחר.
It's almost like, in a way, it's almost like one is a chefza and one's a gavra. One of them it's a chefza. I'm giving you this thing. The other one is a gavra. I'm responsible for your living arrangements. Doesn't make a difference. This house, a different house. So therefore, it's something.
Very good. True. הרמ"א הויסף לציים לשים משין בייסטיף יזיין. שום מבואר שלדעת השולחן ערוך גם במקרה שהסכימו ביניהם על הסקורת בייס מסוים מחויב המזכיר לתיקונים בכל תקופת הסחירוס. Because of that, even if he said what?
Even by ze.
Even so, it's a machlokes mechaber Ramah.
We'll see what he says here.
Yeah, because
he's pointing at it. No, that Ramah is pointing out what almost seems like an argument between mechaber and mechaber atzmei.
You mean a shtickle steer minei ubei?
Yeah, that's what it seems. Let me see. Or maybe not. No, I guess it is a
because
because it was the Ramah who said that initially. So I guess the Mechaber doesn't agree with him then.
Yeah. So Mechaber scheme b'nei b'sochim b'chuy maskel tu b'kol tkufas haschirus. Because of Rosh Hashanah, Shemina Gamekul Be'atzis Ashkenaz Kedas HaShulchan Aruch, and not like the Ramah.
Yeah, which is
Ironical.
right. That's unusual.
Yeah, like the machlokas of the Rambam and Tosfos on Chanukah, the Ashkenazim go like the Rambam, and the Sfarim go like Tosfos. But again, whether every single member of the household
Right.
lights.
Or just just
That's
one.
mamish. And the Mechaber said that was minek Sfad, but in Sfad they don't do that. They do
Right.
like Tosfos.
Yeah.
And Azoidos, Amol,
Yeah, sometimes yeah.
it happens. שכל דבר שמחויב המסקל לדאוג לו בתחילת השכירוס, מחויב גם לסכנוי במשך תקופת השכירוס עם עירה בוי קלקול, והיינו שבגלל שהקלקול עירה מעט מוי או תוך כדי שימוש רגל של הסוחר. Normal wear and tear. That's what it means.
Right. Normal wear and tear. The balabas.
Not abusive behavior.
Right. I broke
אבל
something. Okay, now the balabas not the.
Yeah, אבל אם הקלקול נגרם כתוצאה מפשיעה של הסוחר,
Yeah.
אוי אחד מבני ביתו כגון חלון שנשברו אויסטים, התיקון אינו מוטל על המשכיר, אלא על הסוחר, וכן הוא המנהג המקובל בזמננו, ויש מקומות שנוהגים שהמשכיר מסכן אפילו תיקונים שהם מייסטר הדיוט, ורוב אנשים יודעים לעשות את זה, because
Right.
I guess people say I don't want to be bothered.
My question here that I don't know that that's going to be, so if it's normal wear and tear, it's on the balabas. If it's the pshia of the tenant, fine. It's going to be the tenant's problem. What if it's neither nor? What if a kid from down the block kicked the ball and broke the window? That's not the pshia of the. It's not regular wear and tear, but it's also not a pshia of the seicher or bnei basic.
Does anybody address that issue or not?
I don't. Not that I don't remember it.
I wonder the Aruch HaShulchan talks about it.
I mean, in theory, what you can do at that point is you're going to take the kid who kicked the ball. You're going to go find his father and make him pay. But
it's already not so simple.
But the Viola, what do you do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Viola, what do you do?
Who's responsible for it? The balabas or let's say you don't know which kid kicked the ball.
Yes, Tom. That's another case. That's another shaila.
Right. You don't know which kid kicked the balls, but so somebody from outside did it. You don't. Okay, so it's not the pshia of the seicher. And it's also not regular.
I think there's a legal name for it. No fault. You know what it's called? No fault.
Like meaning it's not the.
Yeah, you don't know. You can't.
Right.
For example, if you have your car parked and somebody gives you a Zets, you come back to the thing and you know.
Yeah, like a hit and run, this kind of thing. Yeah.
Hit and run. So then your insurance covers you for that.
Fine, but that's because you have an insurance. Well, in this case, back then they didn't have insurance.
No, I'm saying, but it's
right. So it's no fault because you didn't.
No fault. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
no
it wasn't.
Fault.
Your car was sitting there. You didn't do it. It's right. Somebody else did it. You don't know who.
Yeah,
but it sure wasn't you. Yeah.
So here you are. Of course, you don't have insurance over here. I mean, but it's more likely that the balabos is going to have to take over it. I think so. You'll see. Rambam Shulchan Aruch. Okay, dvarim mutalim ala soicher. Zachen was the soicher has to take care of.
Right, just like he has.
Rambam Shulchan Aruch hasoicher chayiv lasos maike. Yeah. Al gaga bayis shemitzvah maike muteles al mishagor bebayis umezuza shemezuza einu chovas habayis ela chovas hador. ולסכן מוקם המזוזה משלוי, להסכים מוקם להניחו. וכן אם רוצה לעשות סולם ומרזב, או להטיח גגוי בטיט לצורך איתום. איתום means like ceiling, no?
Yeah, like what's it called? It means like to stop it up, from
הרי זה אויסר משל עצמו, מוזדוס עליינטון.
Yeah.
רמו והוא הדין לכל שנו מייסה אומן, ובכל אלו העניונים הולכים אחר מן הגמדינה.
Right. So obviously nowadays something like that would be considered a Maisa Uman. I think a note 33 is worthwhile.
יש שכוסו שמצווס מייקה מוטלס על הסויכר מדאורייסה, כמו מזוזה. And what does he say in Shulchan Aruch?
He just said that it's mutelis al mishagar. He didn't mention midiraisa or not.
Midiraisa, what? It's like takonos chachomim.
Midiraisa would mean it's mamish the mitzvahs Mike. It would be midiraisa would be mutelis on him. It would be on the seicher.
You know the mitzvah midiraisa bestam because
right, we know mezuzah. We know mezuzah midiraisa is mutelis on the tenant.
On the tenant, yeah. Now, the halacha of a maika is a doraisa, but we don't know.
Right. Mimutelis midiraisa.
Mimutelis, right. So here it's not telling you. It's not telling you. The Ramo is not telling you whether it's doraisa derabanan. Mutal, that's mutal on the soicha.
Yeah.
But this footnote does. We want to say it's doraisa.
Or at least there's a yeshem in that's midiraisa.
Yeah. So then.
Yeshikosu.
Yeah. Michael מדרייסה. יש שקושי מדרייסה המצווה מוטלת על המזכיר. אלא חכמים חיבו את הסויכר כדי שלא יסרשל. That who shouldn't be misrash? Who shouldn't be lazy?
I guess the seicher. I'm not sure what he's going to be negligent in. Like why? I'm not sure what negligence is exactly. Probably I'll have to look in Piskei Mishpat to see exactly what he says there. But in either case,
do you think it means to say that they put the chiyuv,
meaning really the
really it's on the maskid. But in case
the Chachamim, for whatever reason, I'm not sure what the reason exactly is.
I think it's because since a maskid doesn't have it in front of him, he's not there in the house. You know what I'm saying? So if the maskid for whatever reason didn't put it, the soicher. And he is the one who is in peril. He's in peril. He's the one who's in danger.
He's affected by it. Yeah,
affected by it. He would be negligent about it. So I told him, you do it. Taka the masker should have done it, but since it's affecting you daily, don't be mistrustful.
Right. We don't want you to go. So the masker, since he's not the one in danger, he's not around. Later, what's it called? Right. So yeah,
I think that's a word over here. But I mean, like you said, you want to look it up, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, but not right now.
Right, okay. Because sochar al das sheyesh mezuzah vegila she'ein mezuzahs. Because of Ramo, behilchos mezuzah. Shefilu maseicher sochar tabayis becheskas sheyesh boy mezuzah vegila she'ein boy mezuzahs. Ein ze mekach tos. Kivan she'amitzvah muteres olo v'lo yel hamaskir. Besofer shel dovar, it's his responsibility.
Right.
So he said, the gesagt, the Meister nicht mekayim given. So at the end of the day, he has
but it's not mevatel. It's not mevatel. The Eisik Mikara.
It's your achrayus.
Right.
לא bei זה אפילו שאין במזוזה שהוא יצטרך לכנויסו לקויבן שנוח לו לאודם לעשות מצווס בממוינו וגופוי אפילו שעכשיו אינו אומר כך אלא טוען שיש כאן מקח טוס because it's על das that the boss putting the mezuzahs did he agree on that price או נועים דייט שבתחילה שכשחוסם על הסחירוס הסכים לכך. We say
it's basically because the whole tiny from Mekach Tos is had I known I would have not entered into this agreement. That's the whole tiny that a Mekach Tos hinges on.
Yeah, but this is not the case.
And here we say no. Even though you're saying that,
But you
Since
really
the
would.
mitzvah is motelas alecha, a person for sure is happy to do the mitzvah, and even though you're saying that because you're trying to get a better deal now, but you certainly would have entered into it anyway. So we don't believe you that you would not have entered into it.
הפרי חודש אוילה שדין זה הוא רק במקרה שהסויכר הניח שיש בבייס מזוזוס כימי שכך מקובל. אויב ששכמאס קירום בפרש בשס חסימו על החויזה שיש בייס מזוזוס והסויכר שוסק. אבל אם הסויכר עצמו היסנו בפרש, שהוא סויכר את הבייס על דס שיש מזוזוס ואחר כך גילה שאין במזוזוס, רשאי הסויכר ליטון למקח טוס, ואינו מחויב לזכור את הבייס, אף שחוסמו על החויזה או יוסו קינין על הסחירס.
Right. So when it's retroactively and he's going back and saying, "Oh, I wouldn't have," but when he says befeidush, I don't want to ahead of time. I don't want to rent this house if it doesn't have mezuzahs. Okay, then
I think it's more that if the masker says, "I'm even going to offer you mezuzahs," you know what I'm saying? He came up with it. Then he doesn't supply mezuzahs, so we say that the soicher has to do it. But if the soicher at the beginning, at the time of schira says, "Do you have mezuzahs?" Says, "I don't." Okay, put mezuzahs, or I'm not coming in.
Right, right. I'm only renting on Menashe's mezuzahs. Otherwise, I don't want it. Okay, yeah.
I don't want it. Then he has the right. Then he has the rights to back out and all that.
Right.
Sure.
Right, because now. Because otherwise we're estimating for him what al das ma he was thinking. In this case, he was befeidish, so there's no need to be umdinlei.
Right. פרי חודש אוילה שדין זה הוא רק במקרה שהסויכר הניח שיש בו בדור
אולם מהמגן אברהם.
אולם מהמגן אברהם. בשולחן אורך הרב, אוילה שאפילו במקרה שהסויכר היסנה בפרש, שסויכר את הבייס על דס שיש במזוזס, וגילה שאין במזוזס אינו יוכל ליטון למקח טוס. שאפילו במקרה שהסויכר היסנה בפרש, שסויכר את הבייס על דס, שיש במזוזס, גילה שאין במזוזס אינו יוכל ליטון למקח טוס, מהטעם הנ"ל, שאונו מדי שיש מוכן לזכור אפילו למזוזס.
Yeah, we're saying even though you said it befeirish, we don't believe you. Why? Because a Jew wants to do the mitzvah and he wants to pay for the mitzvah with his own money. So even you said it, we're saying you're a liar. You don't mean it.
Right. The machlokes pri chodesh und Magen Avraham and the Alten Rebbe Shulchan Aruch.
Which is usual. The Alten Rebbe follows
the Magen Avraham.
Yeah.
Okay. Isur hasoras hamezuzos be'azivas hasoicher. Yeah, this is a famous Gemara in Bo Metzia.
Yeah.
Tonu Rabbanon. Hamaskir ba'is hachaveru hasoicher lasos es mezuzah וכשהוא יוצא לא יתלנו ביודו ויוצא. ומנוכרי שסויכר בבית של נוכרי נויט לו ביודו ויוצא. ומייסר באחד סויכר בבית של ישראל שנוט לו ביודו ויוצא וכובע רישתו ושני בונוב לא ילינו. הראשונים נחלקו בטעם האיסור ליטול את המזוזוס. לדעת הגאונים האיסור הוא משום ביזוי המצווה. שנויט לא יסו ממקיימו ואינו קויבו במקום אחר. אבל אם קויבס המזוז בבייס אחר מותר. ביזו מצווה שנויט לא יסו ממקיימו ואינו קויבו במקום אחר. In other words, you're taking out of one house.
Right, and they're going to sit there. You're being mevazbez the mitzvah, the mezuzah. You're taking them out, and now the mezuzah are going to sit.
Yeah, but if you put it in a different place, a different story.
Now I'm giving the proper respect to the mezuzahs and to the mitzvah, and yeah, so it's fine.
That's right.
According to the Goyin, yeah.
האיסור הוא משום ראשונים נחלקו בטעם איסור ליטול את המזוזות, דעת הגאונים איסור הוא משום ביזו מצווה של אבל אם קובע את המזוזות במקום אחר, אומרים תוספות, כוסף שהטעם הוא מפני שהם מזיקים בוהם לבית שאין במזוז והנוית לו גורם נזק למי שיוגר בבית והריטפו כוסף. Yeah, the third reason Verit for kotzer atam pnei shecholo kedushas hashchina by ze be'enu lesalko, because the mezuzah brings the
Right,
shchina
right.
down.
You're removing this shchina from the house.
Bli atam im shatois rashba yisru rak b'mikre shekaves mezuzah by zacher, but not according to the first the goinim. The goinim.
Right. According to the Gainim, if you put it in a different house, it's fine. According to Taisus and Ritba, even if you're going to put it in another house, it's still not fine because the problem is with this house, not with the problem is not being mevaz with the mezuzah, the mitzvah mezuzah. It's the removal from this house that either according to Taisus you're putting the new people in danger because of the mezuzah, or according to it because you're removing the shechina from this house. So and if you put it in another house, it doesn't help. It doesn't help the situation in this house. According to the Gainim, it helps. Why? Because the whole problem is that the mezuzah shouldn't sit there unaffixed to a house.
Yeah, din zehu v'lahaloch v'shchonoch beichot mezuzah v'asoich b'ayit b'chaver asoich l'chayiv לקבוע במזוזה ולצג במקום קביעוסה וכשיוצא לא יתלם ביודו והודין למויכל שכאשר עוזב את הבייס מחויב להשאיר בוי את המזוזוי סוב. Nicht nur bei a Seucher, wenn geht weg, but also who? Also when the moicher, when he sells his house, imagine this, a Yid owns a mansion,
Yeah.
right? 30, 40 rooms. And now he sells this. He has 40 mezuzahs, 40, 45. I know people like that. 40, 45 mezuzahs they have in the house.
And this is the worst. This is even not even just this is the guy who's just renting the mansion.
And what about if he sells it?
I say it's the same thing.
You should factor.
The same things come into play.
You should factor another $8,000 at least. Every mezuzah is easy $200, nothing. Today, $300 is common, $400 is common.
But I mean, entry level normal mezuzah, you're talking at least 80, 90.
If you've got very expensive
entry
mezuzahs,
level.
If you have very expensive mezuzahs, you're allowed to swap them out.
Yeah, you can. There's a thing you can to be able to swap them out for other mezuzahs. Well, there's different eights. Depends, because if a yid is coming in, you could also when he comes in, he puts up his mezuzahs and he gives you back yours. There's different eights that are given for it.
I finished. Okay.
Another eight is like Rabbi Brunswick is saying is also
One second.
Is that you, but and even in that you have to be careful. There's a certain timing.
Uber was bad.
There's a certain timing that you're supposed to do.
Was good. I ate all of it.
Like what do you call it? I think you don't take it out right away before. I think you swap them out. You remember something like this, Rabbi Brunswick? Like 30 days before you swap them out, and then you leave those ones. But like you don't do it like immediately before, if I recall right.
Yes, it is. It's 30 days.
Yeah. Okay, weiter. Yeah, Bechazan, you have to unmute.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yesh. Okay, so the top
of 1 second. Yeah. Birke Yosef, yeah? Birke Yosef?
Let me see. Yeah.
Birke Yosef, that's a chidah, no? By the way, it's Birke Yosef. The Rebbe quoted the Birke Yosef when he instituted the Rabbeinu Tam. That Bachrim who wrote in, and Bechlal, I was one of those people. I have all my with Rabbeinu Tam, but he quoted the Birke Yosef because Shulchan Aruch says that Rabbeinu Tam is a gaivadik, Yuhara.
Right, right. You're what you think.
Yuhara is like you're. So the Birke Yosef says Hainti Shokan Yuhara. That brought him down in Shulchan Aruch. He has on Shulchan Aruch, on the Simon of Shulchan Aruch.
Right.
Birke Yosef Kosav Shebemikra Shel Sha'as Adchak Einu Matzliach Lehasig Mezuzah Lebayis Shehover Elov אפשר לסמוך על שיטת הגאונים הנ"ל, ולהעביר את המזוזה אל הבית שאוהב אלו. You see, because since
Right.
he has,
I can't afford another 40 mezuzos.
and it's no bizu mitzvah over here, because he's putting it in another house.
Right. So for sure, according to the Goinim, you're good. And
It's not, it's
so
not,
B'shas Chak, where I pushed the what's it called, $8,000 now to have these mezuzos, and then I'm going to
yeah, but
put
only
in a
with
new
the
house.
sniff leheter is only by the fact that he's putting it on a definite house.
Right, because if not, then even according to the Goinim, you're no good.
You don't know how to do it. So even it's very, it's a
Right, then you
meruba.
have no feet to stand on if you're not putting it in
exactly. Oid kosaf birke Yosef, she'isur litoy lesamezuzos hu afilu b'mikra she'odam acher shenichnas logur b'bayis v'roitze likvoya sham es mezuzosov miyad leachar shehayoytze noitel es mezuzosov. ואף על פי שכל הטעמים הנ"ל לא שייכים במקרה זה מכל מקום חכם וחילקו בתקנוסם.
Right, because meaning if I'm taking them off and the other guy's immediately putting them on, so I don't have and not only that, I'm bringing them to another house. So you don't have the problem of bizbuz mitzvah. You don't have the problem of mazikin because the other guy's putting them on right away, and you don't have the problem of the shechina leaving because the other guy's putting them on right away. So you have none of these three problems.
Yeah.
But
so how does it work? The new guy has to take yours down.
I think that's how it's going to work. Yeah.
Not you take them down and
right.
then
the other guy's going to take them down.
A day later he comes and puts his up. Right.
Right.
It has to be like mamish taker for miyad, I think.
Right. That he's mamish. Right. He's taking down your one, putting up his one. Taking down your one, putting up his one. You know.
Exactly. שהדייר הנכנס יקבז מזויסוף כמה יום לאחר שנכנס יחזר ליוצא מזויסוף. ויש לציין שבמקרה שהסויכר היוצא או המויכר קובע בבייס מזוזוס מהודורס במיוחד.
Yeah, like Rabbi Brunswick was saying.
Rabbi Brunswick, this is your seif. That he went and he took the Mehuda dicker ones and he put cheaper ones on.
Yeah.
Ledas harbe mi poiskim zmanenu rashai litloin belikvoi mikom mezuz pshutos. What we call mifsoim mezuz.
Right, yeah.
לדבריהם לא יפלוג, שייך במקרה של שני אנושים. שבזה גוזרו חז"ל, שמא השני ישרה של הבית ישאול את לא מזוזה. אפילו אם השני קובע מיד, לאחר שהראשון מוריד לא יפלוג רבונן. אבל כאשר הכל נעשה, על ידי הדייר, היוצא בזמן שהבית עדיין בשוסוי, אין זה בכלל הגזירה. רבך דמילסה עודף שיעשה זויס כמה יומים לפני שעוזב הבית.
Right, that like just like if I'm in my house and I'm switching mezuzahs without somebody else coming in. So then you can do. The truth is, for most people, I think the first eitzah is going to be a better eitzah.
What?
Because even if I'm going to buy 40 cheap mezuzahs aren't so cheap. It's still going to cost me. You know what I'm saying? So fine. I mean, I'm going to, and then what am I? And not only that, and then what do I do with? In a way, now you re-enter into a problem with the issue of the goyim. Even though you don't have the problem of the ritba and the problem of who was it Taisvis, because I don't have to worry about mazikim, I don't have to worry about the shvina leaving. I put new mezuzahs here, but now when I'm going to put my mehudidik mezuzahs, right, and the other guy's going to come put his mezuzahs, and now we're taking down these mezuzahs. It's going to be bizbuz mitzvah. I'm going to have a bunch of mezuzahs sitting here.
I mean the cheap ones that you took down.
Yes, I think Bichlal, in most cases, the better eitzah is going to be to have the other guy move in, and a few days later take down your mezuzahs and give them to you.
The other thing is you can talk to the guy before
Right, yeah.
When you've signed the contracts, you can say, there are mezuzahs here, they're very muhuda. If you want, I can put in cheap ones, or you can pay me for them, or I'll leave them up.
Yeah.
You'll put in yours, and then when you put in yours, you'll give me back mine.
The truth is the third eitzah you just brought up is probably really the best eitzah.
Yeah.
Is if the other guy will just put you have already mezuzahs. I mean, again, unless the other guy already has a bunch of mezuzahs and but that would be even a better eitzah. Listen, just you pay me for mezuzahs, we leave them there. They're good to go. They even have cases and everything. And then like this, I'll go buy new mezuzahs for my place, for my new place. Or alternatively, the place I'm moving into, I'll buy his mezuzahs. Okay, so that's the end of the mezuzah in Inyan. Last piece of this.
Alideh Hadayar means the person who's moving in.
Which one? The Dayar HaYetze? There's a Dayar HaYetze and a Dayar HaNichnas. The Dayar
I didn't understand this very last paragraph. Yes, it's happened. Mikra Shasoich HaYotze Ramoicher Kaveh Bais Mezuz Hudors B'miyuchad, yeah?
Yeah.
לדעת הרבה פוסקים זמננו רשאי לתלון לקבוע במקום מזוז פשוט. I understood that.
Fine.
לדבריהם לא פלוג שייך במקרה ששני אנושים, in a different case.
Right, meaning when I'm going out and you're coming in. So
right,
then there's late plug.
שמה השני סטרש הבית ישאל לא מזוזה.
Right, and therefore late plug, and therefore they made no difference in the takana. You can't take them out.
Can't take them down. ואפילו מה שאני קובע מיד לאחר שאני שומר לא פלוג רבונן.
Right, they don't care even if it's right away. Why?
But rather
didn't want to enter this problem. But that's when I'm taking them off, and there's another person moving in. But
even then you're not allowed to do that. You have
to because why? Because late plug rabbanon.
Because same as Israel and lo plug rabbanon.
But that's when there's two people involved. It's all being done by the guy who's leaving. He's taking them off and he's putting other ones on. Then that's fine. The problem is when I'm taking them off and you're putting yours on after. Then even if it happens immediately right away, no good. But if I'm doing both, I myself am also taking down and putting up, then it's not part of the Gzeres Sabonim B'chlal, and that's okay. So that's why you can put up
when the two people you're talking about, you take the Mehudadika ones down and you put the shooters up. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's one person. That's just you, and that's why that's okay. The other case would be I'm taking mine down, and then he's right away putting his up.
Can't do that.
That late plug rabbanon. Sorry. Here, I myself am both taking down and putting up.
I think with the two people, Chashin and Shema Yisrael.
Right, then the other guy ends up not putting them up.
Not doing, but
when it's just me myself, I'm namish right now, taking them down, putting another one, taking then it's not. This is not even part of the Gzeda, so therefore you don't have to worry about the late plug.
Very good. Okay. Muma be'achroin et zmanenu, she'asoichen mechuyev betashlum.
Levada Bais is like, what do you call it?
It's also short voice bebining a meshutef. What's that? This is a co-op, a condominium, no?
This is, yeah, correct. So like what do they call it? The HOA fees or something like this he's talking about.
Move באחרון זמננו שהסויכה מחויב בתשלום לבד הבית.
Right, the HOA fees or whatever.
וכן תשלום שניכויין בטיפול בגינו ושאר ריצוש ושיתוף של החזק הבית. אוקיי. שכן בדברים האלו תשלום הוא על השימוש והסויכר הוא זה שמשתמש במעניין מדברים אלו. וכן אם קונו מזוזה לכניסה של הבניין הסויכר חייב לשלם.
Right, meaning by the shared entrance.
הם החליטו לצבוע את החדר המדרגס או כל דבר אחר שהוא בגוף הבניין, נטש מוטל על המשכיר. שעל בעל הדירה מוטל לדאוג. I didn't know there was a masker in the case of the condominium.
There could be. It could be either way. So it could be you buy, but it could be also you could also rent. You could rent an apartment and there's an owner, and you could rent it. The truth is, a lot of the times nowadays, the landlord is in the contract is rolling the HOA fees into the one payment anyway. So I don't know that this would come up that frequently. You know, like when sometimes I've gotten an Airbnb that's a condo. I'm paying him a certain price. He's I don't have to now deal with well, it depends. There's certain usages of the of if you want to use different amenities, you might have to get a pass or something from the thing. But bichlal, all of the regular fees, it's all rolled into the whatever fees he's got to pay for HOA and that, and for the gardening and whatever. He's not that's all passed on into the whole price. But so it would be an unusual thing to have to deal with nowadays.
Okay, weiter.
And the truth is, even when they paint the when they paint the stairs and this and that, it would all really go by what the
I
contract.
understand. I'm sorry to interrupt you. The beginning of this paragraph is talking about when he's the actual associate of the co-op or condominium, or is he?
No, so there's a few ways this could happen.
Yeah.
There's a few ways. One is, forget a condominium. It's an apartment building. Sometimes an apartment building, you don't buy the property. It's just a rental, an apartment building. Sometimes also has, maybe it's not called HOA fees. It's called some other kind of fees, maintenance fees, whatever.
Yeah.
So it doesn't lav daf even is it a condominium? Let's just say straight up, there's an owner of the building. There's an owner of the building, and you rent the apartment, and there's certain fees that you have to pay also for the landscaping and the ichveis for general maintenance and whatever it is, and fine. So you have to pay those. On the other hand, if the landlord decides he's going to beautify the building, apart something that's not he's gonna redo the staircase, something that's not on you basically.
Okay, weiter. So now we do the questions or what?
Now, let's see. Maybe we'll go inside a little bit.
Okay, fine. Beseder. Das habe ich gewollt. This is Shinu Dalet we just did, right?
Yeah. I'm pulling out a Gemara Menachis to do Shulchan Aruch now.
By the way, don't laugh. I have it on my desk also.
Right. I just grabbed and what do you call it? I got.
No, I'm saying, did you done it today or not?
Not yet. Not yet today. I learned for yesterday already, but not for today.
Talks about the lechem aponim.
The lechem, yeah, the shulchan, the shapes of the things.
The shulchan,
so it's a little bit hard to understand some of it because without visualizing.
It goes into tfochim gedolim, tfochim ktanim. It's you know.
So where are we shooting? You valid, you say.
We're not doing Kur Beis Yosef, right? We're just doing the Mechaber Ramah.
Yeah.
And the Shach and Taz.
And the
Smeh and the Shach.
The Smeh, the Shach, as long as any ones that aren't overly involved. I mean, unless it's like a mamish, like a ikudik. Let's see, Shin Yud base.
When is the Farher? Next week?
No, I think the week after. Or
I hope so. We need
not this week. Next, I think maybe.
We darfen beten for noch a Woche.
Maybe the next week. I'm not sure.
I hope he gives us food like this week and another week to do it.
No,
Otherwise,
it's this week is another Chazara, and then next week. So 10 days
Next
from
Wednesday
now.
already?
Yeah, next Wednesday is the Peher.
Okay.
Okay.
Too short notice, but whatever.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Complain, and no one will listen.
Problem
Yeah,
we're at
listen,
the mercy
no,
of
Well, if
they're
I
trying to-
complain by
they're
myself,
trying to
nobody
keep
would
it-
listen. But if many
they're
people
trying
will
to keep it to a
complain,
4-year program is what's happening.
huh?
Yeah.
They're trying to keep it to a 4-year program. Mitzidi, I would say, I don't care, make it 5 years. I'd rather learn it. But then again, you know what? After the 4-year program, right? Well, then so we'll continue. We can continue every day. We don't have to only go by the program.
Yeah.
We can then we'll go and hit all the simonim that were missed in this thing.
The question is, will it suffice? Is it possible to to do this?
I think so. I mean, I think we'll know it enough for that for what's required. Is it enough like how we would want? No, I don't think so. But okay, Shinyu Dalit. It's much shorter inside than it is in the thing.
Okay, so Adarabah, so let's start. Let's go. Hamaski, okay, ma hadvorim shel hamaskil lasois oy ala soicher. Hamaskil bais de chaveroi chayev lamid loy dalsois liftoich boich loy chaloinois sheniskalkelu ulechazek es atikra velismoich es akoira and also to support the beams, right?
Yeah.
Es akoira on the beams that support the cross beams.
Yeah.
Of the
right. We said the tikra according to the tikra is the cross beams. The maziva is the plaster in between the cross beams. The tikra is the cross beams, and the kaira is what holds up the tikra.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a tikra velismus a koira shenish bevelasos nagar umano locks. The mortar, the plaster,
right.
And the actual beam on the roof, no,
right, yeah, the cross beam.
The cross beam, yeah. But dalet tvochim chayiv l'sakno v'dat tvochim the machlokas Rambam. Remember, we explained that already.
Or according to I think according to the
Smeh, he says it's meyashiv. It's the same thing.
Yeah, he says even really the Shulchan Aruch also means the same thing.
Yeah, but that tvochim chayiv l'sakno v'chol mit dvarim shehem ma'ase umen. Number one, behem iker godel beyeshivas abatim v'chatzeres. Hagov afal pishenichus shom ha'soicher. וראש שלא יהיו שם דברים אלו, לא ימרינן דנספייס במה שראה, אלא על המשכיל לסכן.
Yeah, right. So even he didn't say nothing about it. Why? Because we said it's part of the original agreement.
אם אומר לי בי זה אין צורך להעמיד לו יאחר, אומר לו בי סתם צורך לסכן כל ימי סחירס.
Yeah.
I think I do base, and then we go shachan. We do the smeh and smeh.
Yeah, fine.
I don't think there's anything else. It's only smeh, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think there's a shach. No.
Yeah, I don't see a shach.
Okay, let me do base also. I saw chayv lasos Michael mezuzos. The second Michael mezuzos b'shaloi v'chen im rotzu lasos sulam oy marzev oy latiach gagoy hareze oyse mishal atzmoy. Hago, behu adin kol dover sheinu ma'ase umen uvchol elo inyonim hoilchim acher min gamedina.
Right. So bottom line is really very simple. Is it comes down to those two things? Is it a ma'ase umen and is it nikar gadol? If one of those two conditions are missing, then the tenant's got to deal with it himself. Right. But like we said, it goes by Zman and Mokim. What's
if you're Mokim v'Gezman, yeah. Okay, Shinu Daled the Smeh. V'liftoyach loy hachaloynes yiskalkelu loshen ha'gemore liftoyach loy hachaloynes kosav ha'tur b'shem ha'rayvet zal afilu yesh loy oiro harbe ve'im yesh b'chaloynes shenisemu ve'loy nifretzu b'tzimeihem tzorich liftoyach loy ad kan lishon efsha shekein das ha'rambam והמחבר במה שכוסף תורך חלוינה שנסקלקלו. ולחזק את התקרה פירוש אם הסליעו, they were wormed,
Yeah, like yeah,
הנסורים,
they were rotten.
זאת אלוהים, הנסורים שמונוחים על הקוירס שבתקרה.
Right. Right. So the cross beams that are on top of the Keres.
Of the coitus, they got wormy, right? Or the coitus got wormy.
No, the cross beams got wormy.
Okay. ולסמוך את הקוירה פירוש רש"י אם נשברה מהקוירס שבתקרה. נגר ומנואל פירוש נגר שנולד בו בפנים את הדרך ותוכבים אויסו
meaning in there's like a hole carved into the wall.
Yeah.
That the cross beam fits into.
ומנואל שנולד בו בחוץ רש"י וכן אם נפתחו המזיבה והתקרה בדלת טפוחים בממוני מפורש דזהו מיירי בהזכיר לא יסעליה. Yeah. Ein Shop, the floor, it's a floor, right?
Right, so this is right. So this is where, this man is saying.
Yeah, והשתו, עושי שפט, דנוסו שיר, הפסיכה דלת טפוחים, שעוז מחוסה לבעל עליה, מוקם תשמיש, כלי אחד, כמשקוסו
He
והטור,
can't put his keli down, there's no floor there.
Yeah, בסימן שינו בייס.
It's interesting, it's the same like we had in the case when we were talking about if somebody rents out an aliyah to somebody else. That if there's a 4x4 missing the floor, so this is the same rule.
והשתו, עושי שפט, דנוסו שיר, הפחיסה דלת אמס, that the hole is that of דלת אמס. Why? שעוז מחוסה לבעל עליה מוקם תשמיש כלי אחד. That's regarded like the smallest,
right?
The smallest
right,
area.
And then it makes sense because he says otherwise why dafke daled why is the dal important? Because we already know from Shin Yud Beis that dal is the mokim is the place to put a keli on the floor. And if you're missing dal, you're missing the space to use a keli. So now if you say we're talking about the second level, the shear makes sense.
Yeah. ובייס איקרי כמשקוסה בסימן רשו דל שינות בייס, והטור קוסה בזה, זה לשויני, שמעזיבה נמי חיזוק תקרהו, עד כאן לשויני, ורצה לא אומר, ושום הוכי הוא מוטל על המזכיר לצעקנו, שהוא מייסה אומנוס, ולהפוקי אם היו אומרים, דיינו אלו משום מוסוי גוימוס, they have a mice headed, like filling in small holes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Just right.
How you say spackling? Yeah. Spackling, you call it? No, spackling.
Yeah.
That anybody could do. I mean,
right. Big deal.
They have a mice headed.
And in fact, even nowadays.
Sure.
What's it called? When I was a kid, my father wasn't in construction, but if something what's it called, he would spackle it. It's a big deal.
My father did it too. I remember, telling me this is something anybody could do. He says you don't have to ask.
Right, spackling. You just you buy a thing and what's it called?
If you want to make it a little bit better, once it dries, use a little bit of sandpaper and you just sand it down a little bit. You know what I mean, to make it nice.
Yeah. Right. With the spackle, it's very right. Just little holes, not a problem.
It's very, very, very ungenommen. That okay. Okay, that's Master Goimus, I think. But lo yamrin the dispayes khule pirush elo amrinen.
Right, so we don't say that he was
Shabayis is kiloi vein shom bayis olo beloi tikun kolelu. I think he's going to do it.
What I like when I'm renting a house from you, I have to specify. So I'm renting a house from you, and the floor and the wall and a window and a door. No, it's a bias. It goes without saying the bias is going to have all these things working properly.
I think he's trying to say that he assumed that he would take care of that.
Right. So the fact that he didn't mention these things is not that he was Michael on these things. It's because that's all included already in bias. I told you bias. That's all. I don't have to specify if you're a door and a window and a roof and it's a bias.
They somebody complained to the Rebbe that a certain Moised at Geton Nishapik Shulchan Aruch, and he, of course, gave the Rebbe a lot of Agmas Nefesh.
Yeah.
So they asked the Rebbe, why didn't you say something? He said, Rebbe said, I didn't know that I had to mix into Shulchan Aruch Zachen. I would assume there's something that, they would take care. Yeah, the Rabbanim would take care. I didn't know that I had to call them up on that. You know what I'm saying? he assumed that he's going to give him a apartment. Not going to give him like the Rebbe said, not going to give him a sukkah.
Right.
The Rebbe said that, but with the real estate in Crown Heights, it says, "Me verkauft dem a sukkah und me nimmt weg Heut mit Blut von dem Mensch." They charge him an arm and a leg, and they give him a sukkah.
Yeah.
ומזוזה חולה, גם ברמב"ם, כוס המזוזה וכן צריכים להגיע בתור, ובספורים המדויקים, כל כך בהדיה, yeah?
Yeah.
כך בהדיה בתור, והטעם שמזוזה מובן חויפס הדור הוא, ובתור מסיים וכוסו מקומוקם לא ייתו אל המזוזה כשיועץ מן הבייס, עם הבייס של ישראל, משום שאין כאן בקום, וכבר כוסו הטור והמחבר, ויודע סויף וחוס מזוזה, והטעם שלא ישתו מזיקים בבייס. That's the
Tasteless, I think it was, right?
Tasteless, yeah. וכאילו הזיקו בידיים ולא כוסו הטור כאן, אלא אגב גרורו, סתם, by the way, ומשום הוכי השמיטו מחבר מלכוסו כאן.
Right, because he already addresses it in the Yeridea in Hilchos Mezuzah.
וכן אם רוצה לעשות סולם, חולה, פירש, הנימוקי יוסף דהיינו לגג, ואילו לעלייה המזכיר חייב דבלב הוקי לא מתדלי. That he can't live, no?
Meaning you're not talking about an aliyah because by an aliyah, it's considered it's like misadilay. It's not, you can't live in an aliyah without a. How are you getting up to your aliyah without a sulam? If I'm renting an aliyah from you, there's no stairs. It's like you're renting me a second floor apartment. There's no stairs going to it. So then the masjid is chayav. Why? Because without that you can't live in it. So here
and when not.
So here he's talking about you decide you want a ladder to go on the roof.
Oh, that's not.
That's not called an ikar. So that's what he's pointing out, because we just said before that the masjid has to make the sulam. So he's pointing out, no, that sulam is a sulam to the loft, to a livable space. Here, where he's saying that the seicher has to make a sulam, it's not if it's an aliyah, it's lagag, different sulam.
Yeah, but why is it that it says okay, I understand that. What about marzef, latiach, herzeh, oisa mishalatzmoi? Why the gutter? No, the gutter maintenance is his up.
It also depends on what is usual in construction at a certain time. For example, nowadays, well, first of all, if you're not gonna have gutters, the code inspection is gonna make you have to have gutters on a house. The way our roofs are built to go into a gutter. Back then, it could be there's no gutters, just the roof overhangs the house, and it pours on the ground, past the house. But you decided, no, I don't want it pouring on the ground there. Again, this all depends on makim and zman and makim, because nowadays a gutter is going to be a requirement.
So do I do ches again or what?
Not in California. In California, they don't have, a lot of houses don't have gutters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because they're built like you just overhang past the.
Just overhang, and because there's not that much rain.
They don't have the same kind of rains that's gonna over here. If you have it falling near your house,
if you don't have gutters on the East Coast, it's gefährlich.
Right, by us, if it's gonna go on the ground, it's gonna
destroy the foundation
and all kinds of things.
the basement. We don't have basements.
True. You know what? Now that I think of it, I remember when I was a kid, we lived in Los Angeles. I don't remember gutters on the house there. I don't remember there was no gutters.
What's made does the Belab Hochel miss the lay?
Like Dira.
Yeah, that's what I understood.
Like Mr. Lay. Without this, he can't live there.
He can live there, right? Right, but here you could live here.
Without a ladder to the roof. No, that's just you want to put a place. I don't know what you want to do.
Yeah, because you want to put
chairs to. You want to put chairs to sunbathe on the roof.
Or to put your clothes to dry there.
Yeah, whatever. You're right.
Oy marzev chule, Pirush Rashi, gagehen hoyu toichin betit umushupoim midal doidim soimchin lesorim lekoisel etzel agag leharchik hamayim min hakoisel kenoifel echad mehem hedyot machzira. Wow. Okay.
Right. So, or listen, nowadays, and you have to remember also over here, in Pittsburgh, you're not going to go 3 stories up and then start replacing a gutter. And it's not a Maisa Hedyot. You have to know how to put them properly. And back then, I guess it was just these pegs, and the thing was just sitting on the pegs. It fell down, so you stuck the peg back in and put the thing back on.
Right.
That was the way it was back then.
So, Rabbi, tomorrow at 6:30, is that the way we'll do it now or not?
Yeah, Emir Hashem, that's what we are going to go for.
Say the